Welcome back, Seekers, to another Dune Awakenings video, and today we're going to talk about the Shigawire Reels. These were dropped by Funcom as little teasers in 2023, and I really think that because they were shorts, many people didn't give them the love and attention that they very much deserve. So let's take a look at those. In all, there were 9 of them done, and they're about 30 seconds long, but they do expand a little bit at a time on some of the game features and visuals, as well as reinforcing some of the lore that they're going to be adding to the game. The first video opens up with information about the sandstorms and just how dangerous they really are. The books and the movies have pointed out just how deadly they are, destroying hardware like the spice harvesters, and if a person's caught out in them, there's nothing ever found. Coriolis storms happen because the planetary spin, and on Arrakis there's nothing much on the surface to stop the wind. Hurricanes on Earth are Coriolis storms, just to kind of give you a basis for comparison. The video also mentions a cheap still suit, but one that the Fremen would never wear because it was poor quality. In the desert, where every bit of moisture is more valuable than everything short of spice, it's imperative that you have a really good suit. In universe, the suit covers most of the body, catching sweat and other fluids to distill back into drinkable water. There's very little waste. On the surface of the planet, in the open desert, it is deadly, and smart people won't spend any more time out in the sun or the wind than they absolutely have to. Next, a bit of world building. The Highlander ship overhead, visible at night. It's a Space and Guild transport, the whole reason Arrakis is vital to the Empire. Without spice, the navigators can't navigate, and interstellar travel ceases, and the Empire stops. The video also links back to a previous topic involving water and the need for a still suit. Water discipline is a vital skill Fremen learn as children, and any off-worlders need to learn really fast or risk death. Fremen travel at night when it's cooler, but more importantly, they give us a clue. It talks about the shrubs that survive in the shade. First, the still suits, which really isn't a clue because without them you can't survive at all on Arrakis, but here's a bit of how you can get water in the game. Speaking of game hints, villages. These are non-Fremen, likely traders and smugglers and support workers for the guild. It implies a trade hub, so maybe the merchants for players, maybe contacts. The villages will have the exchange. These will be for players to trade tech, schematics, and weapons. The developers have said that we can sell and buy player-made building blueprints, so I'm going to guess this is where we're going to be able to do that. Long ago, Imperial explorers had the idea to try and turn Arrakis green. It would cool the planet and make water easier to access. Trees would hold the land in one spot, making it easier to find your way around and safer to build more permanent settlements. But, best laid plans and all. So many of the early ecology labs were lost and forgotten, now preserved in the very dry desert. I do love how these videos are showing the grand scale of these labs, the tiny figures of people running for those massive structures. If you're on Arrakis, you're a very tiny being in a very grand space. Even inside their scale, there's a weight of time pressing down. Dark, sand-filled halls there for the players to explore, and just that view. Ferns line the hallway, but you know it's not safe. Arrakis may appear lifeless, but it's actually got quite a bit of life on it, just not on the immediate surface. There's the obvious worm that can grow to be massive, but there's also the desert mouse, Muad'Dib, that lives in the rocky parts of the surface, where we'll hopefully find those water plants. In the deep caves, there's places where moisture drips and life endures. Even the great worms have to eat. And the hint is think about what those teeth look like. I know everyone has been waiting for the ornithopter. Fast and agile, they're a speedy way to get across the desert without risking the worm. From that altitude, you can better see the spice blows rising up into the sky or worm sign. Spice miners will be racing to reach those blows before storms blow them over, disrupting an easy harvest. Airdrops really are the only way to move the large, heavy, and very loud spice harvesters as well. Controlling the sky would be one way to control the spice. Speaking of controlling spice, air combat. It looks like the game has included ground tanks to fight against the Thopters. Thankfully, they are loud and not very sneaky. The drawback to ground vehicles is that they do make nice snacks for worms, being loud and all. Ground troops would be vital support, but again, on the ground, it's a risky place to be. Trying to find that balance of what works for each player, I think it's just going to be part of the fun of this new game. Select few have been taught by the great schools. Could this mean we learn from great teachers like Gurney or Duncan Idaho? How about the Mentats or the Bene Gesserit? They have said in a different video that yes, we will have the opportunity to learn those combat trees. So blade combat or learning the voice or any Mentat tricks. Those things are some things I'm really looking forward to exploring in the game when it becomes live. And now, what all of the fans have been waiting for, last but certainly not least, Shai-Hulud, the Great Worm, the Makers. I think probably the most dangerous enemy on all of Arrakis. They make the spice that allows all interstellar travel possible. They make the water of life, the substance vital to the spiritual belief of the Fremen, meaning they will fight to keep it, and the Navigators Guild will stop at nothing to take it. Looking at all of the little snippets that they've given us, I think we can see that they're spending a lot of time doing world building so that it's ready, and I'm so excited. But the little bits, the ecology labs, and the worm, and the air combat, and the schools of combat, I think are just going to be giving us just this massive opportunity to immerse ourselves in this experience, and I gotta say I'm so ready for it.